Go, everyone. So, welcome to Alsha Unfiltered. The last video I made was with regards to Johan van der Merwe, Sean De Beer, and Greenfeed Technologies, Hydrotech Farms Zambia, the whole fish farming thing, aquatics, I think. But a lot of people came and said, "Thank you, Alsha. My phone hasn't stopped ringing." A lot of people said, "I knew this oak was too good to be true. I just couldn't put my finger on it." A lot of people, their eyes were opened. But there's a handful of people that still think that this guy is legit. And I think the one lady said that um, we all have a past and she won't be happy if her past is thrown out. It does not mean he has changed. Yeah, Karen is what I'll call you. Since there's no logic in my video and that we all have a past, I do understand. But not all of us have a criminal past. And if you do, you might be part of the problem. So she also said that he's been helping them, and him and Sean have been giving up their time, an hour to 2 hours on live TikToks for a month or two, and this and that. Yes, because you paid them. You paid them for verifications that is unnecessary. So a lot of times, I've seen these little comments that pop up, but he actually helped us. He explained the process. He gave us great detail about America and the different states and the jobs and what the jobs pay. And how the hell does he know? Does he live here? Does he work here? Because a lot of the prices he gave y'all is ridiculous. A lot of the things that he said is just plain bogus. But I want to focus on the verifications of these documents. Now, in especially, I think it was this. I'm not even going to say anything about today's videos because he's naming and shaming people that he is threatening. Um, let's go ahead. On this video,
for people and attacking other family is not the case. And
let me
on
find
top
it.
of that, if you are divorced, and that is anything mentioned that you had to pay for myself or Sean or our services or assistance or our guidance we are giving, or that you had to pay for the refugee program.
Okay. So, what do you call it when you have people pay for something that they clearly don't fucking need and you don't provide any proof that you are actually doing these things? And then I heard someone tell me that you spoke about a certain influencer who or TikTok or YouTube personality that said the group safely landed, the second group, and the video was quite short, and you went on and basically called him a liar and said he made that video so short so that he does not have to answer people or provide proof that this specific second group has landed. You went on to say, how is it possible that nobody else knows except him? Do you remember your words in the beginning, Johan, where you said, it's not your fault nobody knows about it? You know about this program. And well, let me tell you guys something. The verifications Johan made you pay for is not, or let me rephrase that. The verifications he supposedly can get done for you cheaper than other people that he listed. So he did not force you to pay him, but he made it look like the cheapest option and he's willing and ready to help. Those verifications are bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. It is not needed. It is not required. The I-590 form that you guys had to fill in is not something the embassy is going to accept. A pre-filled in form that you arrive with. They don't require police clearance. So I just don't understand how people can say that he's helped you. He's spent time with you to earn your trust. Yes, that's exactly what he did. Yes, some of his information is correct because it's quite fucking obvious. If you're fleeing or immigrating to another country, you most likely need a passport. You need a birth certificate. You need to be able to prove who you are. It's not rocket science. Yes, a lot of people don't understand. They've never been through a visa process. They've never been through any of that. Now, let me quickly explain to you. I've been in the US quite some time. We came here a few years ago, and your phones are not allowed to go with you in the consulate or the embassies or anything like that. You are allowed to take certain documentation that they tell you what they need, and no USB drives, no golden eggs will be allowed to go in. Tell me, in which lifetime is an American institution going to take your USB stick and plug it into their PC? In which world is that going to happen? Because I don't know if you've dealt with immigration officials or embassy officials, you're not even allowed to take any technology of any sort in there. How are they going to trust you enough to put in a everyday Joe, like he calls himself, um, and put your memory stick or USB drive into their PC? In which world is that going to happen? And while I'm on that topic, what about the printer you bought that you made a video of, because that is how much paperwork you guys have to print and go through. So explain to me, if you printed all that paperwork, where the fuck did it go to? Did the dog eat it? Het die hond dit geëet? Waar the fuck is dit heen? Because now you're taking it on a USB stick, where previously you said you're going to mail the paper document, then you were going to hand it over to the Trump administration yourself, then you had allegedly got in contact with Elon Musk or President Trump himself. None of this is adding up. I don't understand how people can still defend what you're doing, because clearly they spent money that was not needed. You are requesting, or you're saying that this big influencer with a big following um did this video so short because he didn't have proof that the second group landed, right? So it could just as well be a lie. But you, who are under these false, I know you can't see me, but imagine the quotation brackets, these false documents and allegations, you don't prove shit. But you want to tell someone with a good reputation that he's lying. Oh, wait, you won't tell it to him. You send that voice note in Afrikaans because apparently we can't translate. Just like with today's videos, you did them in Afrikaans because apparently the group requested you to do so. All of a sudden, on all your lives, on all your videos, everybody always said English, please, English, please. Now, miraculously, because you want to talk shit about decent Americans trying to help people, you want to do it in Afrikaans. Like, you don't think we can tell them what you're saying? You don't think Google can? Um, you know what? At this point, I'm over this shit. This guy can say all he wants. There's no fucking way in hell that the US embassy or consulate is going to take a USB stick and just plug it into their PC. Now you're going to come at me with, yes, but I've got my laptop and I'm going to show them on my laptop. You're not allowed to take any technology in at all. I know, I've been there a couple of times. It's clear when someone reads something off of a paper and actually go through a process. Um, when we go back and we look at the stuff that he told you guys in the beginning on his little paper that he sent out. I think it was in PDF. You will all probably land in New York. And he made it sound dead certain. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. He knows the process. That did not happen. Um, so, first of all, you can't be shortlisted. You cannot be shortlisted. He can try until he's blue in his face, which I think is also a bullshit story, because where's the proof? You haven't provided anyone with a verification document that paid for it. You have not proved that you're going to the embassy or the consulate for that matter, but you're saying other people are lying because they don't provide proof, but you and Sean that are under question can miraculously not provide proof. Your group members are not allowed to be on other groups because then they are possible white snakes, leaking your delicate group information to everybody. Um, you know what? It's fucking ridiculous. You're alienating them, making them feel they can't join other groups, so they should only listen to you. I wonder why that is. And I wonder why you would prefer them to only listen to you, because maybe a little fucking common sense reaches them. I'm over this shit. You need to stop threatening people. You need to stop, because this is going to get out of hand and you're not going to be able to flee again. That's not how this works, and it's not how it's going to end. And if you do get away with all of this, which I highly doubt, if you do get away with all of this, the Lord works in mysterious ways, Johan. I told you once before, you and I don't serve the same God. And this is exactly why. Because you bring God into things so it suits your narrative. You bring God into things because you want to fearmonger people. Because you are Moses. Remember your life? You are like Moses. You don't understand that this reaches far beyond just the refugee program. Your threats against me have been locked. It's been reported. It's at our local police. So, and I encourage every single person who's worked with Johan, who's paid him money for verifications that was not completed. It was unnecessary. So, if he suddenly comes out with refugee um, birth certificates, marriage certificates, passports, police clearance, all this shit that is current or that is miraculously verified, where does it come from now and where has it been all along? Why didn't you provide it back to the original owners of whose paperwork you have? Um, why did you not come out and say, guys, I apologize. You don't need a verification. I've already paid someone to do the verifications, which, by the way, is illegal. Um, but to do it on other people's behalf. You didn't come out and acknowledge that your verifications was not needed. You took money for something that was not needed. If you knew so much about this refugee program and had all the inside information, and you could have shortlisted these people from the start, then explain to me how come they needed verifications. Explain to us, and not to me, go explain it to the people that fucking paid you, and then you explain to them why they needed a United Nations High Court referral thing, why they needed police clearance. If you know so much about this, while you're at it, explain why the first group of people or the second group of people didn't land in New York. Um, Explain to them as well why you won't be able to go as a refugee or come to America as a refugee. Um, you have fearmongered people long enough. You are a dual citizen of Namibia and South Africa. You've made a lot of enemies and friends, I presume, in a lot of African countries. That is not going to help you. America is not Africa. You can't come here with your bullshit and think it's going to fly, because it's not. It really isn't. So, in short, this is what I wanted to say. Um, your wife is a Zambian who does, according to you, not have South African citizenship. So, are you going to come here by yourself? That is if you can come, seeing that you do have another country that you can call home. Um, what about your kids? Because, as far as I understand, they're Zambian as well. So, how is that going to work? Um, And then to the group members of Yuhan, I cannot accept any more phone calls. I can't accept any more bullshit. If you want legitimate information, you're welcome to join my Facebook group. You're welcome to ask me questions I've not answered a gazillion times. Okay. Um, the only two things you actually need to do is send the email and complete the statement of interest. Get your passport, unabridged certificate, all the common things, the common knowledge things. Get them, keep hold on to them, and then wait your turn like everybody fucking else. This shit about shortlisting people, it's a refugee program. It is not a fictional chicken or poultry situation where you get to call the shots and you get to promise people all this shit. I don't want to look at his face anymore. I'm sorry. So I'm going to wrap this up. Um, another thing, another quick thing. Um, I wish his old TikTok was still up so you can go and look for yourselves what he posted about land belonging to the real Africans. There's a lot of things about this guy that people don't understand. He does not do one thing at a time, he's got multiple projects running. I'm trying to focus on the refugee thing, but the poultry is in the middle of it because he already gained the trust with the refugee program, right? He's already had you listen to hours and hours of his shit, and now it's easy to get you into poultry because you already trust him. He's been doing this shit his whole fucking life, and people are still falling for it. And I'm done explaining. I'm over this. In this video, he clearly says, "Tell me where I lied. Tell me all this documentation you need." Common sense and a simple Google search lets you know you need a passport, a certificate, birth certificate, driver's license, all the identity shit surrounding it's common sense. What you don't need is somebody that tells you you need these documents verified and then offers you a cheaper, easier way to have them verified by sending it to them. And then it comes out that you didn't need it after all. And then you still want to tell me, oh, but he's helped us so much. Well, if he's helped you, listen to him. Then stop fucking complaining to everybody else that this guy is a scammer. Because I receive so many requests from people. Can you do a video on this guy? Can you tell us why you say he's a scammer? Um, Alsha, I think this guy scammed me out of my money. I paid for documents. I've never received anything in return. Stop doing that if you're still gonna believe him. Then I don't want to hear about it. You've invested 20,000 Rand into the poultry scheme. I don't give a shit because you did not listen. Um, there's people that has invested more, um, that has been warned, that unfortunately invested it before I made my first video about him. Um, they didn't know. There's people that legitimately told me, Alsha, I defended this guy, and for what? For what? Why? Because he's bullshitting people. Before I have a heart attack looking at this, I'm going to just tap out right here. You guys have a wonderful evening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later on Elsha Unfiltered.